Hi, I'm Cindy Grisdela, artist, teacher, and author of Artful Improv. I design contemporary quilts that are meant to hang on the wall as art with a focus on color and texture. I have work in a variety of sizes, shapes, and colors, plus pillows and scarves. I'm happiest in my studio surrounded by colorful piles of fabric and thread, and I'd love to have you come and see my work and chat with me about art. Thank you. I'd like to walk you through the process of making a quilt from start to finish, from choosing colors to sewing the blocks together to deciding where the design will go to quilting it to the finished piece. First step is choosing the colors. These are some of my favorite colors. I like bright, happy colors. Reds, pinks, oranges, yellows, blues, and purples. Any sort of fabric combination will work, but these are some of my favorites. The next thing to do is to make some blocks. I usually cut scraps if I don't have them, put them on my cutting table, and put the blocks together improvisationally, even randomly. These are examples of some of my favorite improvisational blocks. I don't know exactly what they're going to look like when I start, and that's part of the fun for me. It's also the way I approach the quilt design in general. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and that's exciting. I have a design wall in my studio that is one of the most important, next to my sewing machine, is one of the most important tools that I have to create my designs. Often I have multiple pieces going on at once because I never know when I'm going to get stuck on one and need to move on to something else. These are block units that I put together to make a specific quilt. I lay them out and then play with them on the design wall until I have a design that really excites me. Sometimes it goes through several different tries to get what I want. And here's the finished top of the quilt. So quilts have 3 layers, a top like this, a second layer of batting, and then a final backing layer. And that's those 3 layers are what actually make a quilt a quilt. The next thing to do is to add stitching, which I do with my sewing machine freehand without marking ahead of time or using any sort of computer. It's all done drawing with my needle and thread. Spiral and stipple combination is one of my favorite quilting motifs. Stitch a spiral into the center, leaving room to come back out. Echo all the way around. And then do your stipple around the outer edge of your spiral. When you get to the back where you started, then you just do another spiral. This is a great motif to do an overall filler design or fill in a background. I like it because it is, once you get comfortable with it, it's fairly easy and fast to stitch, and it looks more complicated than it is. So that is a plus in my book on. And you can fill in the space easily without having areas that are difficult to reach. like to look where I'm going with the needle, not where I am, so that I don't get caught. And here's the finished piece. This is a wall hanging called Neon Tetris. If you'd like to know more about my process, please visit me on the web at cindygrisdela.com. I love to share what I'm doing, and I appreciate your going with me through this tour of my studio and process.